What should I post? Ready to go with it. Stop it. With episode 115 of the usual podcast. So I said, ready to go with episode 115 of the usual podcast. Grab your frosty brews and let's do this. Too much?
Well, I'm not drinking a brew.
Bevs?
I think that'd be more accurate.
Grab your frosty bevs or beverages? Bevs? Beverages.
Well, we don't want to assume they're alcoholics, so how about bev? Singular.
No, bevs. Grab your frosty bevs and let's do this.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Stan the man. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Ah, shit.
You don't want any more singing?
No, grounded level. I won't comment during the show
You're full of shit.
unless they win. I love you.
Fuck you. Fuck! Had just that kind of day. That looks pretty good tonight. Don't you think? The
Well,
solo in the middle. And the...
Yeah, I like it. I really like the title.
Me too. We haven't talked about it yet because we didn't record last week.
Exactly.
Post. I posted it
I can see
to the Twitter.
to the Twitter sphere.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, your levels are a little better tonight too. It's good. Excuse me. Anyway, ready? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Kate's on the way. You done with that? Look at myself in the thing. It'd be weird, like, if anybody tuned in, they'd see you just staring at me, like, doing this over and over. But nobody's there but us. Nobody's there yet. Is your brother coming?
I don't know. I told him that we were going to be recording tonight. He usually waits. I mean, have we gone live?
Yeah, we've been live for a while.
Yeah, then if he's going to, he should be coming on because he gets notifications. I'll text him.
It's fine. I'm gonna carry the weight. So give people another couple minutes.
Check out the shirt.
Let's see.
It's all the players on the team.
Oh.
It spells out LA Dodgers.
That's tight. That is cool.
Yeah, so of course when Julia came in a couple days ago, she had to show me her Instagram pictures.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
Oh, I did.
Oh, the ones with her beverages?
Oh, I hadn't seen that one.
Sup, Skeen?
Hey, Skeen.
What's up, dude? Oh, we were just getting ready to go. We are a little early, so we didn't want to start too early. So here we are. Too little. What up, dude? Welcome to the party.
We usually never start early, but Marshall always finishes early.
Oh,
Bam!
that's dumb. Nobody likes that kind of humor.
Well, we've got two people in the crowd who like that joke.
You left a flashpoint? Oh, Skeen, you shouldn't have done it. Actually, good decision. It was a lame pug anyway, right? Don't tell me it was all your guildies and you left all your friends.
I know, right? We're not that cool.
Nope. Next week, we're going to... he said exactly. Next week, we'll be featuring a couple of the other beers you got us, dude.
Yeah, we are. I'm going to be drinking the Dirty Bastard next week.
Yeah, somebody is drinking Captain. And to be fair, I had a couple shots of Captain.
I'm going after the hard stuff tonight.
Well, here we are. It's been a hell of a week.
A little bit.
Already, and it's only Wednesday.
I almost called in today.
Oh, my God. Seriously? I would have fucking killed you.
No, you wouldn't have. Don't be jealous just because I don't have to get a sub to call in. Sorry. Grounded out.
So somebody's watching. So FYI, and I'm going to say this at some point in the show and throw them under the bus. Somebody may or may not be watching the World Series on their phone as this is happening. So here we go. So weird sounds. Subs? Do you have to get your own subs?
Substitute teachers.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, it's better that way. Otherwise, you get a bunch of morons. Well, and honestly, all that's in our teacher pool is morons. So I don't take days off unless I absolutely have to.
Some get fired for grabbing students.
I might have to take Monday off just to catch up on some grading, but I don't have a sub, and it's going to be a shit show. So.
And see, I, on the other hand, work in the computer lab. And so all they do is shut down the computer. Wait, that just means my job is worthless.
I mean, I didn't say it. Just kidding, dude.
I'm all right.
I'm joking. All right, so we're almost at 8.
Oh, but I told Tara that I'd be there for first period tomorrow.
Nope. You're going to work tomorrow. I'm going to work tomorrow. In fact, I'm working both my jobs tomorrow, so fuck you. If you don't show up to work...
Oh, no, I'm sure.
I will.
I am.
I'll tell you, I will go to your house.
I was actually going to ask you, can I park in front of your house tonight?
Here's what I'm going to do. I will... Oh, don't get me started.
You...
Oh, I don't care where you park, to be honest with you. Side conversations. Should we start the show? Maybe?
I'm leaving you.
About time. 18 years later. My wife and kids just got home. That'll throw a wrench in things. Well, it'll take them a bit to get going here, and let's start this shit on time.
Let's do the damn thing.
So we can be done on time. Thanks for being in the chat room, Mr. Skeen. Too Little, our loyal peeps.
Thanks,
and thanks for choosing us over the Bad Feeling podcast. Thank you.
Well,
and I shouldn't have. Damn it! I told you that the Bad Feeling's going now too.
Who wouldn't? Come on, we use show notes.
Well, look, here's the thing. We may use show notes, but they're better looking than we are. So wait, not true. They're better beards than we do.
They grow longer beards than we do. There's another podcast.
That's my boy. That's my skin.
No, we are the only podcast in existence. We've invented the format.
And on that note, we should start this. Sounds okay? I'm guessing you can hear us, obviously. Let me try something real quick, because we are going to watch a couple trailers real quick. Let's test. Oh, no, I don't. Actually, let me get that going real quick. 1 second. Gotta have another.
We only have like 2 or 3 we're watching, right?
Yeah, we only have a couple, and they're all on YouTube. Let me just set up another tab real quick.
And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I haven't watched Black Panther yet on purpose.
Oh, you have not watched Black Panther? You're a disgrace to all humanity.
On purpose.
Humanity.
I did listen to HBO, though, and so I heard them.
Oh, so you haven't listened to HBO or Fat Man yet?
Yeah, so I heard them watch it, but I didn't watch it.
Well,
the music was great.
Anyway, I think you're blowing it, bro. Blowing it.
You told me to stop doing that.
Well, on air. All right. Got it. Oh, that's the show outline. What am I doing?
Come on, Kenley.
Bro, if you say one more thing that's baseball related, you know what? I'm going to give you a pass.
The show hasn't started yet.
I'm going to give you a pass. And the only reason being...
It's been 29 years?
No. that's not the reason. The reason being is because of the World Series. If it was just a regular game, I would tell you to shit it.
Well, I wouldn't be doing this for the regular game. This is the first Dodger World Series in 29 years.
I know, bro. I got it. I get it. I get it 100%. Okay, that's the one I need right there. Okay, so we're good. Got it. What do you think of the solo? Solo? Formulate your thoughts, kids.
Still, one of my favorite memes from Force Awakens was where somebody took one of the Kylo Ren lightsaber toys and cut holes in a red Solo cup and put it through it.
I don't even have a story in here for the solo title.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Because I was gonna
Oh,
post
I
it.
do, because that's the wrapping up of the...
Yeah,
okay.
so I was going to post it, and I saw you had it there, so I didn't.
Fuck off. All right, here we go. Ready?
There is a couple cool things I put in there, though, so...
Well, I like being surprised.
Yeah, you do.
Did you have to bring it to the innuendo space? We're already 4 minutes behind now.
That's
Thank
your
you.
fault.
Is it?
Well, yeah. Excuse me, my job is done. The volume is up.
I'm about to turn you off. I can do that. I have turned Will's mic off. You may hear him in the background cursing like a sailor. All right, let's get going here. The kids are about to walk in, maybe. Hold on. Oh, if they do, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Blast came from the Death Star. That thing's operational.
Dr. Banner. Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Hello and welcome to episode 115 of the usual podcast. Podcast where we discuss Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Star Wars franchise, and geek and pop culture. I'm your host Marshall, and with me, pretending he's not watching the World Series, is my co-host Will. What's up, bro?
115.
Yeah, but that's it. I thought you were gonna say something about the World Series.
It's been 29 years, and that's got 90% of my attention right now.
Uh-huh. And we're just sitting here enjoying our usual frosty beverages while Will fist pumps silently, quote unquote, in the air. Will, what are you drinking, bro?
I am drinking the wonderful Captain Morgan because I got a little Captain in me. So I'm drinking some Captain and Coke.
Yeah, to be fair, I had 2 shots, Captain, and I am drinking Triceratops Double IPA. I grabbed it out of the fridge. Next week, we'll be drinking a couple other beverages from the man, the myth, the legend, John Skeen, who's in the chat room. What's up, buddy, brother? I don't know, something.
I would like to respond.
We're going to go with Broseph.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
it.
Broseph. I'd like to respond to Two Little Lies comment that pop culture is better than the World Series. I would argue that World Series is part of pop culture.
Ugh. Sports ball? Really? I'm joking. Yeah, no, sports is definitely part of pop culture, but geek culture, it is not.
Sabermetrics, dude.
Did you know? No, I'm just kidding. I've been talking to some of my students about pop culture and sports.
Okay.
Why the Knickerbockers are called what they are.
Right, because you were talking about
Homeboy,
yes.
writer
Thank
that
you.
you like,
Washington
Irving. And also we were talking about freaking Edgar Allan Poe. We've been reading some Poe.
The Baltimore Ravens.
And the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
So, here we are. Pop culture is not all the way geek culture, but sometimes it intersects and intertwines and, I don't know, spoons.
Actually, you know what's funny? I found
Here we go.
I found a T Fury shirt that was great for Poe the other day, and it's funny. It looks like a family crest or whatever, but it shows. But it's the Raven, and it says, "Don't quote me on that."
Nice. I actually like that. Are you done?
Yeah.
So before we get started, if you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And, of course, we're on all the social medias, Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch. If you're watching us right now, thank you for joining us.
MySpace.
And YouTube. No. MySpace? We're not a grunge band.
Friendster,
I was talking about Friends earlier today, too, which is weird.
ICQ.
Okay. Now nobody knows what you're talking about.
AOL Messenger.
I'm at Darth Pops on Twitter. Will is at Admiral Griggs, and we're also on your favorite podcatchers. So find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, give us positive ratings. 5 stars would be great, and help us in any way you can, which is good. We do have the timestamps in the show notes. If you're not a SWTOR fan, we don't have a ton of SWTOR this week. We're going to be highlighting some community folks and talking about some the latest stuff, but a little drama. But we'll be jumping into Star Wars. We'll be talking Solo this week. And what else are we talking about? Black Panther trailer.
Rebels.
We'll be talking Rebels as well.
Because Rebels is back. We're a little bit of Black Panther. We got a little bit of Gambit news this week.
I know. It's going to be a good week.
It's a good week.
And it won't be very long.
Nope.
I think my kid is crying in the background currently. So here we are. All right, man. So thank you, everybody who is in the chat room. We love all of you. Skiing too little, you're all right. You're all right.
Yes, you are.
And so, chime in whenever you can, and we'll throw you into the chat. Our chat.
Word.
From the chat to our chat. Is that a thing?
Our chat is your chat.
We're blowing it. All right, SWTOR.
You want to fight? I'm ready.
You do not have to stand against me. Instead, I will share all of this with you if you will only kneel.
That's just ridiculous. So quick, to the chat, can you guys hear the bumpers playing? On my capture software, it's ridiculously low, and that's something I gotta fix. I usually fix it in post. I just don't know what's going on. If you guys can't hear it, it's not even worth playing it, to be honest.
Do you have the cable going from the computer to the soundboard? Well, no, because they can hear trailers fine.
No, it's just they said they can hear it.
I honestly think it might be something in your Windows Media Player. Have you updated that?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Anyway, not worried
I'll
about
take
that.
as a no, considering you never update anything.
Well, fuck off. So anyway, they say it's all good, and nobody heard me say the F-bomb, and I'm not editing it out. So here we go. Community shout-outs, dude. Extra Life, next Saturday, bro.
I know. I just realized that, and so I have to talk to somebody at school because I think I was supposed to do SATs that day, so that's not happening.
Did you schedule SATs when you're supposed to be a Hollywood Square guy?
I did not schedule SATs at all. That would be the College Board.
All right, man. So real quick, I have a link in the show notes to the UA Guilds, which is actually you should follow that on Twitter. It's at UA Guilds. And that's all the haps with the Unholy Alliance Guild. And there is a post that I have linked in the show notes. It says they've released the Kraken, which I love because that's a thing we do. But really, it's a schedule for the Extra Life event. And it's a 12-hour deal starting at, 11, 10, 9, 8 a.m.? No, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And it is going for 12 hours. And Will and I are doing a SWTOR Wood Squares at 5 p.m., which is the time they have listed on here, which is, I think, Central Time.
Yeah, so it'll be 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, so, I mean, you could theoretically do the SAT probably and then still make it. You just can't miss that because you have a square.
Yes.
Anyway, so we're doing, Will and I.
We have a square, right? I think we share a square.
Oh, do we? I don't want to share squares. I'm not a share square. So, I think we actually have our own square.
I think you're saying you're not a square sharer.
Whatever. The point is SWTOR Wood Squares is the main event. Mr. Musco himself will be there with the center square, and we'll be there as well. And we've already got some funny ideas for that, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. Check out the link I put in the show notes. And I will be streaming the entire event, all 12 hours, and so you can use my links and or whatever, and donate to Extra Life.
Absolutely, it's a great cause, and the Unholy Alliance and Wookiee Mistake Guilds do wonderful jobs in raising a whole bunch of money.
Indeed. And so this is what we're going to be doing. And it's going to be amazing. And I love Extra Life. It's a fun-ass 12 hours. And it's exhausting. But I actually start the day with mimosas, usually. And donuts.
Well, you do that every Saturday.
Well, F you. But yeah, I do because it's Saturday. Donut. I like to think of Saturday as donut and mimosa day.
There you go.
Indeed. And sometimes I go to work at night. I am not working that night, though.
So am I coming over here?
If you don't, I don't know how you're going to do it. moving on. The kids won't be here. This is all side note stuff. Okay. So anyway, the kids have a party. There's all kinds of stuff happening. Yeah, come on, right? Thanks, Skeen. All right. So anyway, it's gonna be great, and so definitely check it out.
Yes, absolutely.
The last thing we have here in community stuff, a little known, is it a vodcast? Is it a talk show? Yeah, something like that.
It is a pop culture juggernaut, is what it is. Wow.
Well, I'm talking about the council.
A skiff, maybe.
The council, which is Redna, Magic Ace, Elise, and one Mr. Sakari. They have an announcement to make for our SWTOR community, and I'm going to play that now for us.
Mine looks like Zatanna, though.
Mine looks like a Star Wars character.
And mine looks like Palpatine.
Hey guys, what are you talking about?
What our characters look like in SWTOR, obviously.
Ooh, speaking of SWTOR, the coffers of my empire are overflowing with cartel coin codes that I need to give out to the masses.
Yeah, and I have way too many cartel coins. This is my humble brag.
Nice, give them to me. Well, I mean, I probably can't because we're, guildies. So, how about we do a cosmetics contest? I would like people to submit their screenshots to us. We could give them your codes as prizes because I have no codes. And then, we could vote on the winners. We could let the community even in.
Okay, but there might be way too many people submitting way too many outfits to vote on.
So you guys are my own personal Dark Council, right? At least that's how I thought this works. So why don't we pick from our favorites and then throw our leftovers to the masses and let them pick from what's left?
Sure, oh mighty Emperor, we'll do it your way. But I want us to use my council email address. The one that's magicace@thecouncilswotor.com. That way people can submit the screenshots and then, we can talk about what they're wearing.
Submit by October 29th, 2 days before Halloween.
Speaking of which, Redna, what's your character wearing?
Wait, I'm supposed to put clothes on my character? Where'd you get those? Please understand that by submitting an image to us, you agree to allow us to publish it with credit attributed to you. Make sure to email your images to us with your Twitch, Twitter, or Facebook names attached so that we can communicate with you without confusion should you win the contest.
These guys are crazy.
That was a lot of dependent clauses that he put on that last sentence.
Indeed. But the bottom line is they're having a cosmetics contest. Submit your deals to them. By the time you hear this, the contest may or may not be over. But if it is, it is. If it's not, it's not. But if you're tuning in live, do it.
Do it.
Are the girls trying to come in? Girls, are you trying to come in?
I think they're just babbling on.
Okay. Sorry. My kids are about to go to bed. You don't have any tune that are dressed well. It doesn't have to be dressed well. Just
creative.
Accessorized.
Accessorized was a good way to put it.
Because honestly what it comes down to is some people, they will dress their tunes up like certain comic book characters. If you listen to the latest episode of The Council, one of the things that Elise was talking about is maybe it was Magic. I think it was Magic Ace. She was talking about how she has a tune that looks like Psylocke. And stuff like that. So, that's what they're talking about. It's not about being dressed well. It's about
the design of your character.
Design. It's about intent. And, whether it be like, this is my, badass sniper rifle that goes along with this, vehicle because of this. And that's totally fine too.
Right. As well as your glowing eyes or your hairdo or whatever. All
Exactly.
the customization type stuff.
Exactly. All cosmetic.
Yes.
All right.
Although I would like to say that my favorite costume that I have is on my sniper and it's themed like Cal Poly. Red High Mustangs.
If you make one more sports ball reference tonight, I might flip my poop.
Well, I'm going to when the Dodgers win.
Okay, I hope they win. God, if not, who knows how the back end of this podcast is going to go. All right, so weekend game, dude. What did you do this week?
I actually am sorry to say that I uploaded last week's patch. And I went in to mess with a couple things.
So nothing.
No, actually, right after last week's patch. Well, actually, it was after the last patch because we didn't record last week. I actually did do some heroics. I started running through the Theronica HK51.
Theoretica.
Is that what it is? I thought there was an N in there.
Theoretica. You talking about the HK-51?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Theoretica.
Yeah, so I was doing that on my Jedi Knight, which is awesome because my Jedi Knight did have these two big ass, like, they're like bigger than the Cathar swords.
Oh yeah.
And since he's
the big beefy vibro swords.
Yeah, and since it was
good.
a dual wielder,
Yeah.
like when he's running, it's like just sword
Yeah, that's
trays
badass,
on his
dude.
back.
Yeah.
But then I just got a really cool, a really much more powered saber, so I had to switch to that.
Yeah, no, I'm getting updates from Skeen in the chat. This is not the World Series cast. Moving on. What I did was WOG this week, What's an Ops group, and my children are coming in. Come on in, little loves.
Hello,
Hello.
ladies.
We're going to take a quick mow here. Hugs. Love you.
Love you.
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Bye-bye.
I'm so glad. Good night. I love you. Good night. I love you. Do either of you want to say hi to the chat room? Say hello. Say what up, Skeen.
Hello.
Can you say what up, Skeen?
No.
Say what up, Too Little.
No.
What's up, chat room?
No.
Nothing? Okay. You want to talk to the chat room? Say what's up, chat room.
Hi.
Camera's over here.
Can I see my camera?
Say hi. How's it going?
Hello.
Right behind me.
All right. Say goodnight.
Why is it showing the menu?
Well, this is on a delay. This is what's happening now. But it's okay. I got a lot going on. Say goodnight.
Love you.
Love you too.
Good night.
Okay?
Too Little said, "What's up?"
Yep. Okay, good night, girls. See you in the morning. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out. All the things are done. Okay, shut the door so we can keep going here. All right. So,
Word.
Those are my girls. So we did What's an Ops group this week, and it was Eyeless. It was the Rackle event.
Oh, cool.
So we did hard mode and story mode. We ping-ponged it, and it was easy, but it's weird doing it. The ping-pong method, for people that have never seen it, they're like, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah, it looks weird.
And basically, it's just me and the tank talking to each other
Yeah.
while everybody else does things. And it's fun.
The ping pong eyeless is one of my favorite things to do as a sniper.
Yeah.
Because there's a sweet spot right in the middle of the ping pong where I could just hunker down, put on entrench, put on my umbrella, and not move the entire fight.
Right.
And just like rain fire down on everybody.
Well, it helps. Hard mode, it gets kind of interesting because the puddles show up. And so we had to kind of reposition a couple times. And yeah, Too Little. Yeah, it was fun to watch. It's a hoot. Especially once we've had enough to drink. It's like, well, I'm moving this way. Well, what are we doing? And then we're just, but we worked out well. It
Is
was
that
fun.
how you got the puddle underneath your desk?
Indeed. Sakari was my off tank
Oh,
this week.
nice.
And so that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I haven't played with Sakari in a long
Yeah,
time.
he's a good guy. I like that guy. He's got luscious hair.
Luscious locks.
Luscious locks. Well, I have the locks.
You do.
He's got the flowing mane.
Maine, good
You
choice.
like that? I'm good with words. All right, man. Should we get to the dev tracker stuff? Because we have really not moving fast.
No, we got some drama.
Yeah, let's get to this. So, there were some people that were hoping that the double XP before we recorded last week, the double XP thing was going. Sakari streaming now. Oh, thank you, Skeen. Yeah. Well, not only is he streaming, but so is Bad Feeling. So I'm happy that we have. I'm not going to say how many of us.
A loyal fan base.
The loyal usuals. The usuals. We're going to call you the usuals.
The loyals.
Let's just go with the usuals. Could we? Because I feel like you're gonna think of something dumb to say, and it's gonna make it worse.
Usualists.
Oh, I actually kind of like that. Kind of.
Not really.
Let's move on. All right, so double XP, CXP, Warzone. People were hoping that there's a bug with the actual display of how many hours it's gonna last,
Really?
and it looks like it's gonna be forever. And it's not, and it wasn't. It ended right when they said it was. I think it was like the 17th or sometime last week. So that's over, but they are going to that is going to come back with the the next big update. So that's good. There was also some speculation that the there was an issue with the CXP legacy buff for under 300. And basically, I've got a link in the show notes to that. They kind of prove that it's not bugged. But if you're having issues, of course, with that kind of stuff, definitely talk to, customer service.
Yes.
For sure. But people are stoked. We're getting Darth Hexid back.
Okay, well, actually, sorry to
You're
interrupt.
not
You were
stoked.
talking. Well, no, I am, but no, you were talking about talking to customer service. I actually had a glitch after I had a bug after the last patch, because I started doing. IOCath.
Okay.
And so I was working with the reputation stuff, and no matter how much I put through, it was like registering that I was coming close to the max, whatever. And then I hit the max for the week,
Right.
but it didn't show that I had been promoted at all, like my levels.
Okay.
And so I messaged customer service, and I didn't hear back for like a week.
Oh.
And then I
Usually
found
they're a lot faster.
Yeah, and then I've got usually you get the bot reminder or the bot email back.
Right.
I got a personal email back from.
Oh.
I mean, you could tell it was handwritten. Well, you know what I mean, hand typed.
Yeah.
And the person said, "I want to apologize. We're trying to figure this out too." But then the next time I logged in, I was up to the third tier. And
Oh, okay. So there was.
but I never got a response email after that saying it's been fixed. It's just weird.
Well, it's weird on customer service side, but also that's kind of weird that that's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, because that sounds like something that would be a bug for numerous people.
Interesting. Well, it's the first I've heard of it. Doesn't mean it's not.
Well,
on the
it
forums
could
and
be
stuff
that
either,
most of the people that listen to us or that are in our sphere have already maxed out IOCath rep or something like that, and so
I've been to IOCath once. Seriously, once.
I hate you.
Maybe. Anyway, you're doing great work, my friend.
I am.
Anyway, so Darth Hexid is
Yes,
coming back.
I'm excited because who is he again?
She
She
was the one we did not get in the DVL event. Remember?
Right,
And
yes.
she is a reward, and I'm going to talk about this in a second. When the United Forces goes live, which is on, so log in and play between November 8th and the 27th, and you get, all you have to do is log in, and we talked about this the other day, but
Right.
you get the Mini Mogul NM-1 mini pet, inspired one of the classic Operation bosses, Karaga the Unyielding, which we
right
talked
because
about.
he's wearing the hat.
Exactly. And you also get Darth Hexid, the companion.
Nice.
That you didn't get, or you may not have gotten in the
Right.
DVL event. No, none of us got it because that's the side that won. That's right.
Right.
Anyway, so those are some of the rewards. And also Double XP is coming back. Double XP, Double Command XP, and much more through November 14th.
Awesome.
And that's going to be badass, dude. I'm pretty excited about that update, honestly.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that's right before Veterans Day.
Right.
So we get a 3-day weekend.
Yeah,
and
we got
can
it. We
enjoy
get some
that.
time. That'll be good. There's also an issue with a blank conquest page on the website, and that really has to really all that comes down to is conquests are in a what they call peacetime until that update we just talked about.
They're in a holding pattern.
They're not. It's peacetime. It's time of peace. No active conquest for the next 3 weeks, and this was posted yesterday, and that means the conquest page will appear blank during that time. So
Okay.
basically, until the big update,
Right.
there won't be any conquest. So, all right, and a couple bugs just real quick. Some people are having some trouble summoning Torian from the companion locator on Odessan, which is weird.
That is weird.
It just seems to be kind of random. And the Bastion had some issues, and they had to do a server restart, but this is all old news anyway. There was an update yesterday, Tuesday, October 24th.
But this is the hardware.
This was the big hardware
behind the
fix.
scenes, yeah.
And
where they're actually moving all the servers and all that.
exactly. So the thing that they were doing here, and I'm just going to kind of, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to buzz through a little bit. They've completed the upgrade of the game servers, along with all their supporting infrastructure and the data centers. They made large investment of new hardware and software, as one of our primary goals was to substantially reduce our footprint while improving our overall server capacity. During our evaluation of new services, the important part, we determined we could also combine our North American data centers. That also occurred today, and we have officially moved out of our West Coast location. You see where this is going?
Yes.
Our testing showed no impact on the gameplay experience, but we expect some of you playing on formerly West Coast servers may see higher ping times. will use the next 2 weeks, obviously because they're leading up to the next one, to smooth out any kinks and resolve any performance issues encountered. And basically, you're going to see the same servers when you log in. There's just some new stuff running. And it says, as announced previously, the move to the 5 new servers will be on Wednesday, November 8th. And at that time, the servers will be down for up to 12 hours. And the important part about this particular post is that if you have major issues because of this last patch, definitely let customer service know.
Right, so they can fix it before the major thing.
What do you think the beef is?
Long ping times.
Ping times. Yeah, and it's really
even though they warned you about it.
Yeah, well, they didn't tell us ahead of time they were doing that. I think they realized that was going to be better,
would be an opportunity, yeah.
And so they did it. And there's been some mixed reports. I don't know. It's a little too early to tell. It just happened. So we'll keep our eye on it. Some people in our community are saying, there's no difference to me because I play on a U.S. server and I'm in Australia or I'm in Germany or whatever.
Right.
And it's like,
so you would have had a long
it is kind of what it is anyway. You know what I mean? So we'll kind of see how this shakes out. And again, we've only got a couple weeks till they move to the big servers anyway. So
I think for it also varies like on how close you are to internet nodes. Not what.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the internet, which is the actual infrastructure of the cables and everything, whereas the web is the overlaying product.
Indeed.
So like for like the original internet nodes were UCSB, Stanford on the West Coast, right?
Right.
So the closer you are to those nodes, so obviously the closer you are to Silicon Valley and all that stuff, the faster ping times you're going to get. Whereas we're out in the middle of nowhere,
right? We
have long ping times anyways.
Right, exactly.
So comparatively speaking.
Yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on it. If you have issues, again, hit up customer service. That's what they're there for, honestly.
Exactly.
And I have not logged in since this last update. I plan to do so later tonight.
Yeah, I have not yet either.
And check it out. But like I said, I live on the West Coast. I've been playing on an East Coast server anyway, so I just really don't think it's going to be a big deal.
No, our server is a West Coast server. Yeah.
Is it? Mm-hmm. I always get that confused. I never know what coast I'm on. I know what coast I'm on, but I don't know what coast I'm on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What coast am I on, buddy?
The left one.
So speaking of the left one, we have something really cool, and this just came out a couple days ago. EA is celebrating the legacy of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Now
it's been 10 years now, right?
And this is KOTOR, and this is saying that. So real quick. And this was posted on social media, and then now it's on the SWTOR website. It says, Star Wars The Old Republic team is excited to celebrate Microsoft's release of the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic coming tomorrow, October 24th, which is yesterday, to Xbox One.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is really cool. I think 10 years was a few years ago, but you're right. So from the grouping, so really what it comes down to is they're kind of trying to celebrate KOTOR within SWTOR.
Yes.
Right? So I've already done this, so definitely do this. You get, I haven't done this because I've already done this. But if you've never played the game before, you can play Shadow of Revan expansion for free. Obviously, the other stuff was already free.
Right.
But Shadow of Revan, all you have to do is go to your account and put in Revan Returns as a code, and you get to play Shadow of Revan for free.
Yeah, it's a free $10.
Yeah. Exactly. So redeem the code. You can also obviously play from 1 to 50 already, or 1 to 60 already. You get a swoop bike, obviously KOTOR speeder. If you put that in there, you get a KOTOR inspired swoop bike. I also thought Too Little's right that we got this already. I put it in and I redeemed it, but I think I already had it, and I think it's from something else.
Well, I don't think. Well, a KOTOR themed one, I don't think we've had.
I couldn't remember what it was, but I couldn't remember if I think I redeemed it though. So check it out. Anyway, but yeah, man.
What was the code for that one?
KOTOR speeder.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that one later.
So it's cool. So you get that, and so really, this is kind of a neat thing. I think I didn't realize KOTOR was coming to Xbox One, but that's cool. It is
fantastic. I mean, it's great that they're still spending developmental time on marketing and stuff like that for such an old title.
Oh, right. Yeah. Some of us did get it. And you're right, Warlock. That's right. We got it for free back in the day.
Right.
That was back in the day. Yep. I was wondering because there was a little hiccup. I redeemed it with the code, but I already had it.
Thanks, Warlock.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to. Should we move on?
Yeah, we're moving on to extra innings. Let's go.
If you mention the goddamn World Series again, I swear to God. All right, we're going to move on to Star Wars because apparently we're reporting a podcast and not watching the World Series.
Why don't you change it on?
I was raised to do one thing. But I've got nothing to fight for. Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
All right. So, this first one I put in, this is interesting. Did you see this?
I did not. I saw you put the headline in here, and I want to see where this goes.
Okay, so I don't even know what quotes I should pull out of this. I don't know what we want to talk about with this. So, here's the thing, okay? There was, the title of the thing is John Boyega teases Finn and Poe's relationship. And we've talked about this many times, that there may be a budding bromance, possibly romance, out of Poe and Finn. Which, more power to him.
Okay, it's like that whole meme, the really close...
The bro one?
No. Where they look at each other, and when they're passing, and he goes, tell the whole world about us, bro. And he goes... Or tell them I'm your whole world, bro. You're my whole world.
Yeah. And so something along those lines. So, all right. So now I'm thinking about the meme. Thank you. All right. So actor John Boyega, who plays Finn in the new Star Wars trilogy, he spoke with Metro about fans wanting to see his character in a relationship with Oscar Isaac's character Poe Dameron. And he says, I think that Oscar is always looking at me with love in his eyes, which I love. And I guess that the fans saw it. And then they realized that either he needs to chill or come out, Boyega said. While Boyega and Isaac both support such a romance, the filmmakers behind the camera lens are ultimately in charge of the decision, obviously. And it doesn't look like Poe and Finn will spend much screen time together in The Last Jedi. And Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy spoke about the possibility in April, which I think we talked about back then, right?
I'm sure we did.
Admitting that future storylines will be influenced by fans. So after 40 years of adventures, people have a lot of information, a lot of theories about the paths these stories can take. And sometimes those theories can come up, are now new ideas for us to listen to read, and to pay attention to. This is Kennedy talking. This is back in April. And it's clear that fans are as much masters of this franchise as we are. So, and the article goes on to talk about the Star Wars franchise has yet to feature a LGBTQ relationship on screen. But Boyega knows the importance of representation goes beyond what's featured in the movies, right? And he says there's definitely, I like this one actually. There definitely is that responsibility, but more the responsibility to hire those from those experiences to share their creative light. That's the pivotal thing. Because if you just hire some sort of people, the same sort of people, you're going to get the same sort of film. It's not wrong, but there's a lack of variety. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You know who I want to see, like, just in the back of a cantina scene somewhere?
Yeah.
Captain Jack.
Oh, that'd be great. And especially after seeing him in San Diego. How crazy was
romancing
that, right?
a random alien of undetermined species or gender.
Like, maybe they're blue with, like, 8 arms, you know?
Or an Ithorian.
Yeah. Oh, an Ithorian would be great. So, I don't know what you think of this. I had to throw this in there as a discussion topic to start the Star Wars section, just because it's something that we've talked about. It's something that obviously the communities are talking about. And it's just, I think it'd be really interesting if by episode 9 they're romantically involved. I think that would just be a hoot.
Oh, I think it'd be awesome. You know me, I'm always for more diversion.
Sure. Diversity.
Thank you.
Yep. Diversion is what our podcast is.
Yes, I had diversion. I had diversion in my lips, division in my head. But you know,
no, we don't need to be more divisive. We need to be more inclusive, and we also need more diversity.
Yes, I'm all for diversity in all aspects.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And obviously, we both have found members that are all over the spectrum, and I just love the fact that
my sister got engaged last week.
I know, that's awesome, dude. I'm super stoked about that. So did mine, but to a guy this time. which I think is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. My sister proposed to her girlfriend at Disneyland.
Nice. I know. That's so makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, dude, any other thoughts on this?
No, I'm all about this. I
Do you
just
think do you really think they will go this way though?
I would like to, and I hope their wedding takes place underneath the Force tree.
Poe's family tree. See?
Yes.
See what I'm doing there? I'm killing the words tonight, I think. Anyway, all right, so let's get to the Last Jedi news. There was one quote out of this next article I wanted to pull out because I thought this was really cool. Can I what? Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell him in a sec. All right, so real quick, Mark Hamill claims filming The Last Jedi reminded him of the first film. And there's a quote in here I just wanted to pull out of this because I thought this was kind of really a nice, this is Mark kind of moment, right?
Yeah, it's definitely Mark.
So he says, I remember I had this feeling that rushed over me when I was at the top of the island and Skelling, because the first thing we did on the original Star Wars before Carrie came over, or Harrison came over, I went with Sir Alec Guinness and Anthony Daniels and Kenny Baker. Almost said Kenny Rogers and Kenny Baker, the two droids, and we went and we did the desert scenes in Tunisia. We were out on the salt flats, which was 360 degrees of horizon because it was built over. Nothing grows there, but there was the salt water underneath. And in between shots, if I turned away and had the crew to my back, you could look out and this unearthly terrain at the robots by your side and the floating car on the sand in this outfit. It was very easy to just be transported and really feel like you were in a galaxy far, far away. And obviously he's comparing that to the
remote location.
The Skelling Island. So I just thought that was really kind of a cool thing. It's not really news, but I just think it's kind of a cool thing.
But it comes across on screen too, because I love, for as much as I love Force Awakens, I had much more of a, I mean, for all the practical stuff in it, you could definitely still feel a prequel vibe in it,
right?
Like an undertone to it, right? But with Rogue One and what I've seen from this one so far, it just looks and feels like the originals did.
Indeed, and I think, I don't know, man. After seeing that last trailer, and we talked about this for a while, and this is going on. He says, I was just, I got the chills, and I never had that feeling again until not Empire. When we went to Norway, it was brutally cold, but snow is snow. And he says, in Jedi, we went to the Redwood Forest in California, etc. And he's basically saying on Octu, he had that same feeling in the beginning.
Right,
so I thought that was pretty cool. So, I don't know. Being at the top of any kind of mountain formation is pretty awe-inspiring, one way or another.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, what do you got here? Oh, is this me?
That's you.
Well, I think this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. And I'm going to use it as a platform in case for some crazy reason my local theater is listening. Can you put the damn tickets on sale?
I know, right?
For God's sake. All right, so I want to contribute to the tracking information, man.
Yes.
All right, here we go. So, obviously, Last Jedi is on track right now to have a second biggest opening next to Force Awakens. And right now the predictions are 215 million opening weekend, and The Force Awakens was 247 million.
Yeah, 215 would put it just over Jurassic World, which I want to say was 212 or 209,
something like that. And it says Jurassic World is 208. Oh, you were close. 208.8 million. Look at you. and the Avengers was 207, and Age of Ultron was 191. So those that number would also mean Disney would own 4 of the 5 highest opening weekends in cinema history.
Yep,
which is pretty bad.
Universal gets the one with Jurassic World.
Sons of clams. We're moving on. So the next 2 we're not going to talk about, I don't think.
Yeah, I actually read the one about the subtitles.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, so I have 2 articles in here that I like to throw stuff in here and then debate with Will if we're going to talk about them or not. And on this show, I try to avoid spoilers. And we were just talking in the chat about that actually. But what's actually important is we want to make sure that people can listen to the show and know that they don't have to talk about class changes with SWTOR, and they don't have to deal with us spoiling or rumored information from the films.
Okay, I will tell you the subtitle thing is a rumor. Well, no, I mean it's.
Hold on, real quick. So the two things are subtitles reveal who Snoke's talking to in the trailer, and the other one is there's a reveal intriguing new details about Poe, Kylo Ren, and more. So I'm not going to talk about those because I don't want to deal with the spoilers.
Right.
But you read the one.
I did.
So can you skirt around it?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, let's just say different languages use gender in different ways.
Indeed.
In pronouns,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't confirm anything because translators translate the way they translate.
Would you say it may or may not be lost in translation?
Absolutely.
See what I did there?
So there's no confirmation. Like here it says subtitles reveal. No, it may reveal, but
Right.
there's no confirmation because it doesn't say that this is a Lucasfilm translation or whatever.
Right.
You just have to take it with a grain of salt.
And I'd like to see, and you're right, Ski, and it could still be misdirection, obviously, in the
Absolutely.
translation. So I like to leave those kind of things for, I have the links in the show notes. If you're one of those people and you're listening to the show, it's like, why don't you talk about it? Well, read it, and
Right.
you'll
And actually,
find out why.
this wasn't an article I read. I just happened to watch Nerdist News every day, and it was their topic
It
a
was
couple
their
days
thing,
ago.
yeah. All right, let's get to the big Star Wars news of the week, dude.
Yeah, so big news.
The Han Solo movie wrapped production.
Yes, it did.
And it wrapped with a nifty little video from old one Ron Howard.
Yep.
And he was like, oh, should we tell him what the title of the movie is?
Yeah, okay. You know, I liked everything about the reveal video except for when they handed him the title card.
Yeah.
And he looked at it and he's like he didn't know what it was earlier. It's like, oh, it's just been revealed to me.
I didn't know the name of the movie I've been working on. Of course he did. But that aside, Chewbacca hands it to him, right?
Yes.
Or something like that, which I thought was kind of cool. But the name of the movie is, obviously, it's old news because we're a week behind, but it's Solo, a Star Wars story. Which, I don't know, man. It just makes a poop load of sense.
It does. It's perfect. There's
It's simple.
Right. There's two things I like about it, especially in retrospect, looking back at all the drama we've had with the title The Last Jedi.
Right.
With who's it referring to? Is it multiple or is it plural or singular? Da, 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 da.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about who this movie's about.
Exactly. And that's exactly what Han Solo is.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's self-centered. It's about him.
Exactly.
And so, Solo. It's him.
Yes.
No, I like it,
It's
dude.
in his name.
Yeah. And I'm down with it. And also, we've had those discussions, too, about that this movie will say something about maybe why he's named that or something about his name.
Right.
We've talked about many times. So, yeah, I'm down with it. It makes I'm glad it's not something randomly obscure for no reason. And you know what I mean? Like Rogue One, it can be about, I mean, unless you know the history about it, you have no idea what that movie's about.
Exactly.
Solo, okay, I know who Solo is.
Yes.
So let's do it, you know?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, and also with like Force Awakens. Well, who's Force? Who's
Mm-hmm.
Awakened? Da, 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 da. Rogue One, we didn't know with everything, but this is like you're looking at like there's no equivocation about
Yeah,
it.
that's it. So, yeah. So let us know, guys, if you have any other thoughts on the Solo film, Solo name. Shoot, it makes more sense than anything else, I think.
Absolutely.
Unless they called it like Kessel Run, a Han Solo story.
That
But
would
that
be-
doesn't make any sense either because all of these anthology films are a Star Wars story.
Yes.
So it's like, it's going to be a thing and then Solo story and you know, a Star Wars story. So
Yes.
that's what it's about. Other thoughts?
No, I completely agree.
Cool, man. Solo Cup. Nice. All right. So is this the same official name for the?
No, you put them both in.
What?
I didn't touch those.
No, I didn't put the one in all caps in there.
Yes, you did, because I never put anything all caps.
You son of a goat.
Because I don't copy and paste titles.
You're just so much better than me. That's fine.
Word.
All right. So episode 9 news. Ryan Johnson admits he's not involved with episode 9.
Okay, and I'm gonna say one thing right now. BS.
You don't think so?
No, well, I mean, he might not be writing it, he might not be directing anything, but you know, Abrams is calling him, asking about story details and how it can be
Right.
connection. So you can't say I'm not involved at all.
Right. Let's see what he says. So he says something like, he says, J.J. Abrams is doing a third movie. I'm not involved in it. They'll be writing their own story, but continuing on with what we did.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah. So it's like he
may not be
and I
involved in
think
the
this,
day-to-day
this
operation.
yeah, and this article kind of goes on to say he's like, okay, so yeah, it sounds like he wanted to definitively state he's currently has no direct involvement in the story.
That's okay.
But obviously, minimal collaboration between him and Abrams isn't out of the question,
Right.
Because how could Abrams come in and do 9
without
consulting the guy who did 8?
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Especially since it's already in pre-production and,
Skeen's killing me. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? Oh, so this one I thought was kind of cool. J.J. Abrams wants to take episode 9 elsewhere. Now, the reason I hate these articles, and I'm going to tell you why, but there's a quote that I want to pick out of this.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so he says, where is it? Okay, so he said, well, it's certainly something that I'm aware of now working on episode 9. Coming back into this world after doing episode 7, he was talking to the BBC. He says, I feel like we need to approach this with the same excitement that we had when we were kids, loving what these movies were. And at the same time, we have to take them places that they haven't gone. And that's sort of our responsibility. And that's the quote I want to take. That's it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I really don't think.
He says they said that they're going to be brave and there will be big surprises, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, what do you think he means by elsewhere, dude?
I'm hoping it's not to an island in the Pacific that moves around.
Well, here's my thing.
I loved Lost. But
I loved Lost as well.
I will have to say the one thing the Bad Robot does not do well is follow through.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot more I think on Abrams' plate than we know right now. He needs to end a trilogy.
Yes.
He also end the trilogy he started.
Yes.
Which obviously this is something that some of us have a beef with, Lost fans, etc.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I think that I don't want to say this. Not only does he need to end a trilogy, but he needs to do something more than we've seen, and also open it up for more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because they're not going to close off the trilogies. They're not going to. I feel like they're eventually going to do an episode 10.
Yeah, and it might not necessarily be. I mean, it might be linked to the Skywalker's name, but it's not going to be about the big three, the original big three. I don't think.
Well, I mean, and especially with 2 of them dead now, one in real life and one in fiction.
Exactly.
Expand on that too a little, and we'll add it in.
I think it's going to be. They're going to have to introduce something. I don't know. The thing that keeps sticking in my mind is the fact that Qui-Gon was the first Force Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's the first one that was able to do that.
Sure.
And there's going to have to be something like that.
Okay.
Right? That, I mean, I hate to... I didn't have as much of an issue with them as other people have had. Something like midichlorians, where it's like it's something that can be brought up but connects to a wider universe.
You know what and the wider universe part I think is important. Yeah, I see what Tulil is saying about redemption. I hope it's not. I hope it doesn't. Honestly, personally, I hope it doesn't come down to. Excuse me, Kylo Ren being redeemed because I don't give a shit.
No, screw redemption. I want a big fall.
Yeah, I want it to get
I
darker.
would love Rey to fall completely to the dark side.
I actually wouldn't mind. Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't mind it getting much darker, people falling, and then showing. The thing about Star Wars that's interesting is we only see little snippets of places here and there. We don't see what I like about the novels is that you see a wider universe.
Right.
But why not bring in more? Bring in, make it expand it out past that. So it's not just about, okay, this is what's going on. It's all about the rebellion and this. It's also like maybe the Hutts are involved. Maybe there's some other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like it has to have a bigger stakes galaxy wide after episode 9.
Okay, imagine this.
Maybe something's woken up.
No, well, imagine by the end of 9, Rey turns totally dark, and the funny thing is I would love it that she's been dark the whole time.
Yeah.
Right, and then she's been like an agent.
Which is why they put her on that damn planet.
Exactly. But the thing is, I want her to kill Ren, kill Snoke, and to find out that she's had a Force ghost of Plagueis or of Bane.
That'd
or
be badass, dude.
Or some...
Like she's the reincarnation of Bane would be sick.
You know, not necessarily that, but
I know what you're saying.
But that you find out that Qui-Gon wasn't the first Force ghost.
Yeah.
And that she's had Bane looking over her shoulder, or that she's been having Exar Kun
Yeah.
over her shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm in, man. I think Disney has an opportunity here to like really blow this thing out. Like
Yes.
if they did it right at the end of 9 rather than be a closed thing, it should open it wide open to where they can pick and choose Star Wars stories from any thread that they've alluded to in 9, and then they can also follow this thread of, you know, Poe and Finn and whoever else is still alive.
Right.
You know what I mean? And maybe Luke, if he's still alive, shoot, let's explore that. Let's figure out what it is. Give me a Luke, a Star Wars story, but this is old Luke, a Star Wars story.
Like, for example, for like the next trilogy, say the new big three are still alive, Finn, Poe, and Rey.
Sure.
Imagine that they, like, the next, like, 10, 11, 12 center on one of them each. And they all might appear in it, but it centers on each one.
I'm with you, man. I don't know. We can talk about this all day, but I just don't want it to be almost the opposite of what Too Little said. Was that I like that. Sure, there might be some redemption. There sure might be some of that, but I don't want it to be closed down to where it can end like it did with Episode 6. Like they actually had to reopen it again, to be honest, for Episode 7 because 6 was the end.
Well, what I like about what she said is that you can definitely have a door slam close and still have the story continue.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate to bring it up because they're not great movies, but say the first Saw movie.
Yeah.
At the very spoilers, I mean it's a 13-year-old title now, but the first Saw movie, at the very end, the guy shuts him in and locks the door or whatever.
That's it.
That's it, but that's not where the story ended. And so you could have something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Skeen. He says, you know, obviously timelines, they can go in any direction they want. I'm with you. I don't know, man. I really want... Part of me just wants Star Wars stories every year, but I feel like that's going to get a little gimmicky because they're just going to pick whatever the fan favorites are. Like, eventually they're going to do the Boba Fett movie I don't want, and then they're going to do, hopefully they're going to do the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, which is great, which I do want. But then there's the, I don't know, maybe Jabba the Hutt movie that we've talked about that nobody has even asked for. So there's like these weird things.
These aren't like the Tales books, like Tales of the Bounty Hunters, and Tales of the Mos Eisley. You can't do that unless you were to do, like, I think that would be a brilliant show concept.
Indeed.
Like a 10-episode. Okay, imagine that. Okay, this is
finally do the live action Star Wars thing, and then you can explore that.
Lucasfilm, listen to me. Do
like
something
Gotham.
like, not even like Gotham. Do it like American Horror Story.
Okay.
Not necessarily with the same cast. But say 1 year you're going to do a 10-episode arc of Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
All right.
And you have 10 different episodes about bounty hunters in the galaxy.
Okay.
Then the next season it's Tales of the Empire. And you do 10 things about... You can have an episode about Tarkin, an episode about...
And they're interconnected in some ways.
Exactly.
And
then, you know, Tales of the Jedi. And you could... Old Jedi, young Jedi... But
now, I haven't read the story we were talking about with the 40 stories.
Right, the new Star Wars book?
Yeah, the new Star Wars book. But that might be very interesting since that's canon.
Yes.
Depending on where those go, maybe that's planting the seed for future deals as well, you know?
Right there, that's a 4-season TV show.
Exactly. So, all right, man. Anything else before we get to TV?
No.
All right, let's do Rebels. I have not watched the new season yet because my wife and kids and I watched that together, and we just haven't done it yet. But what do you got in here?
There have been 4 episodes, and I think it's funny. You added one that you said no Rogue One connections.
Uh-huh.
Or, I mean, not likely to connect to Han Solo.
Right.
So why don't you talk about that?
Well, it's not likely to connect to the Han Solo movie, right?
Right.
And I think it's interesting because a lot of people are hoping that Rebels is eventually going to connect to, you know, Rogue One and other stuff like that. He says, I don't know if there's anything Ezra Brinker could really add to the saga of Han Solo type character. This is Filoni talking to Gizmodo. He said, we already have a Lando in our show, but we have to be careful about it. And it's it being a variety show. And we've had a lot of characters come in and out, and I always get worried about small galaxy syndrome. So
yeah, I think we're definitely not going to see anything regarding Han Solo.
Right.
And the main reason being is we're too far along in the timeline.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where it would have to be the Harrison Ford Han Solo.
Right.
And not the Ansel.
I know what you're saying.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be that,
Okay.
right? But it's definitely going to be connected to Rogue One, and we already saw glimpses of that in the last season with Saw Gerrera, with Mon Mothma being included and stuff like that. Thing is we're going to the article I put in here is that there are connections already. In an episode that just aired, there you definitely saw where Saw and Mon Mothma are falling out,
right?
And that's a big thing that sets up Rogue One. So
cool.
I think it's definitely going to end up where like Rogue One ended up at A New Hope. I honestly think that this season, which is the final season of Rebels, is going to end up with how the Ghost ended up at the battle at.
I hope so. It makes sense, you know. So cool. So Rogue One connections? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. This is also a big deal that is happening in the gaming community that I'm indifferent about, honestly, right now, just because I don't dive into this stuff that much this far out. And so really what it comes down to is EA shut down Visceral Games, and this was the studio that was working on that new Star Wars video game. And people are upset. They've given it to someone else, and they're going to take it in a new direction. And a lot of people in my community have really speculated that this is where gaming is going. It's going in a different direction, and all this other stuff's happening. So I just have the links in the show notes here. On top of this, Electronic Arts, their stock took a dive, obviously, a little bit following Visceral Games closing and the Star Wars delay, obviously, with the other stuff going on. So I think this is interesting, man. I was looking forward to this game, but again, I'm not buying Battlefront 2. I didn't buy Battlefront 1. Like, gamers are looking for different things, and I'm with Too Little. I really was intrigued by this game, but mostly because it was more of a single-player kind of Uncharted style game.
Right, yeah.
Right? But does that mean that this new studio is going to turn into a MOBA or something? Like, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
what is like the flavor of the moment right now? You know what I mean? What kind of games do people want? Shooters seem to be stagnating. MMOs have been on the decline. What do people want to play? Is it just something on their phone? Like, are we done sitting down at PCs, and are we done sitting down at consoles? I mean, honestly, I think consoles are, in my head, whether it be numbers wise or not, are struggling a little bit depending on what kind of games they're putting out. You know what I mean? And some of these indie games, like, I don't know if you've heard of Cuphead. That one is.
Yeah, I keep seeing things about it, but
it's super popular right now. But again, there's some indie games that leak through like that are super popular. But again, Battlefront, sadly, is not my type of game anymore. And I don't know if it's the age of gamers. We were the generation, my friend, that were at the beginning, and then we walked away from the console or the shooters. We started with Wolfenstein and Doom. I played Halo to no end until I was, 20. And then I guess a little older than that, 24 or whatever. And then I just started walking away from these things and started playing MMOs.
You have all these things. It's not. I mean, you get to an age where, I mean, I don't want to be ageist here, but I mean, you get to a point where it's not all about shooting people in the head.
Yeah. But so our generation is looking for more story, which I think that's why we went to SWTOR, right? And SWTOR gave us, that's exciting, SWTOR gave us the story plus the community.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why a lot of us
it all boils down to story. That's why, I mean, like, I never really played Halo. I mean,
Right.
there was some story.
There was a great story there.
There was some story, but me, like, I like the story of Perfect Dark. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's what,
Yeah, that was a good one, too.
That's a shooter game that I go back to.
Right.
That and GoldenEye
GoldenEye was great, too.
were really the last real shooter games that I played.
Right. And I mean, so not to spin out of this, but what it comes down to is game developers are starting to really look at what is going to sell these days and what's going to be in the long term.
Right now, it's all AR and VR.
Yeah.
And if it's not, so I'm hoping they're not putting so many eggs in that basket and it fall just totally
Yeah.
the bottom falls out of it. Yeah.
Well, past that, Battlefront 2, the devs have talked a little bit about their pay-to-win concerns. I know a lot of people in our community are talking about how Battlefront 2 is pay-to-win. And basically, that's their defense is, this is why we put it on beta. We're just trying to make sure that, that we can balance that, and we're looking at feedback is really what they said. But honestly, like, if there's loot boxes and all the stuff that we're used to in SWTOR does a good job of making sure that they're not selling us, we have these things, but you don't have to pay money, real money, in order to get upgrades to your gear and stuff.
Right.
You know
Subscribe
what I mean?
and you get it all.
Exactly. So, what was I going to say? So anyway, let's move on past that. Merchandise. Some pretty funny stuff here. There's not funny. This is not funny. This is amazing. And I'm going to put this in our daily real quick. You want to talk about the next one? Or I'll put this one.
Oh, I have not heard about this, but evidently Darth Vader has been turned into a Star Wars teapot set.
Oh my god, it's just ridiculous. It's just
okay. That Rey figurine was great,
and this is why I wanted to take the extra second to do this. Check this out. I'm not going to get the whole thing, but I just want to show. This is from Sideshow. I'm just going to slap this over here. Look at this. So this is a Sideshow collectible of Rey. Look how amazing that is, dude.
That is really cool.
I mean, just the detail in that. Oh my god. How cool is that, right?
That is really nice.
Anyway, I had to show that off because I thought that was super important. Anyway, continue. What's next?
Yeah. So.
Vader teapot.
Let me see this thing.
Yeah, hold on. Vader teapot. Sorry, there's gonna be an ad playing. Look at that. Look at that bad boy right there.
That's really funny.
But look, it's like his chest piece right there, and then his head pours into it. Oh, that looks so cool, dude.
That's really funny.
I want that. Anyway, I love Star Wars merchandise, so you're welcome, people. Here we go. All right, and that's our show notes that are right there, which are going away now. All right, so last thing. Let's get to some stuff.
Let's get to the usual.
Usual roundup. It's time.
I can't imagine any kind of future where I'm a hero. Well, you're not. In the future, none of you are heroes. You're legends.
All right, as usual, you got the top stories.
Yeah, let's get the bad news out of the way. Yesterday, Robert Guillaume passed away at the age of 89, I believe. What most people and younger than our generation knows him from is he did the voice of Rafiki.
Right.
In
Man, I love that voice.
Lion King. He's wonderful. I loved him in Sports Night.
Oh, yeah.
Where he played Isaac Jaffe, the managing editor. But I grew up watching him in Benson, where he played the chief of staff or whatever to a governor. And that was a great show from the 80s, but he was also in Soap in the 70s. He's done so many things and so many great things. And I really want to...
Would you say a big bucket of win?
Big bucket of win. He's phenomenal.
Too little put in, he'll be missed. That's great.
I highly recommend going back to Sports Night and watching an episode called The Six Gentlemen of Tennessee.
Okay.
Or Six Southern Gentlemen of Tennessee.
All right.
And it's about and it's very apropos to nowadays. You gotta remember, this episode was done in 1999. And it's about 6 college football players who decide to stop playing for their college team in Tennessee because they fly the rebel flag.
Oh, right.
Outside of the stadium.
Got it.
And so they protest very much like Kaepernick does, that sort of thing. And then Guillaume, who's the managing editor, he comes on camera and gives a soliloquy about race and everything. It's very, very good. So
Sweet.
check that out.
Nice. What else we got? Who's calling out? Wait, Kellogg's? Like the cereal brand?
Yes. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, this is both trivial and amazingly deep at the same time.
Okay.
If you look at the cover of, if you look at the box cover of, what's the cereal that Kellogg's does? It's like little puffs.
Corn Puffs? Corn Pops.
Yeah, Corn Pops.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know my cereal.
So it's Corn Pops. But the thing is it looked like they did a box cover this year where it was like a big mess, right? And they're like supposed to be human, or they're supposed to be people.
Yeah.
And the janitor was the one brown piece. Okay. So the guy who is currently writing, I think he's the guy who's currently writing Black Bolt.
Okay.
So he's doing the character for Black Bolt right now. He basically called him out on Twitter and said, "I don't think you're racist. I just think this is the basic debate between outright racism and unacknowledged white privilege."
Yeah, exactly.
Where you did it, and it didn't dawn on you that's what, because you probably didn't do it on purpose, but you didn't see how it would be viewed.
Well, and I always try to figure out, and this is something Josh and I talk about all the time when things like this come up in pop culture. It's like, so at some point there's a group of people sitting around a table, and they're like, "Here's what we're thinking about doing," and 3 of those people are thinking like, well, should that really be, are we all good with this? And they're looking around and everybody's like, okay. And then for some reason they all go along with it. And it gets all the way through. And then the backlash hits. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the thing is there really wasn't a backlash. Nobody really said anything.
But I'm just talking in general.
Right,
but,
right.
Yeah.
But what I think this does, and the point that the writer points out, is that this is a systemic thing where it's not that, say it's a board of 10 people on the marketing board or whatever got together and said, okay, we're going to be racist today.
Yeah.
But
which is never on their list of their agenda.
Right. But it's mostly the fact that who was in the room.
Right.
And it's the fact that there's not enough diversity hiring where there's not enough women. There's not enough people.
There's not enough people to do what I said.
Right.
And say,
exactly.
Like, should we do this?
It probably is 90% white in the room who wouldn't even know the thing. You know what I mean?
I like that the one brother in the room is like, wait, we're doing this? Damn it. I better not say anything because I won't lose my job.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
that's the issue.
Thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's the thing. And I think that's but for Kellogg's, they basically said our bad.
Yeah.
They changed.
Oops.
They didn't. It's just they didn't realize it.
Well, and here we are. I love it. I think that's kind of stuff. It's happening more and more, I think. Again, it's just one of those things like, let's look at it from more than just where we're coming from. Like, how would our demographic perceive this? Like, if we're trying to market to somebody, like,
right.
how are people going to perceive this? I think that's super important.
And that it just goes back to the main point of having more diverse voices in the room.
Or have at least a couple people from that demographic, or a, what do you call it? A focus group, nice. Focus group to deal with that stuff, And every time I say focus group, I always think of Impractical Jokers.
Yeah,
because they do the best focus group.
Two little points out. There was a big backlash to Dove because of their whole body positive movement thing, and yeah, it's
going to happen more and more until we start getting diversity on those, in the process of creating.
Exactly.
Right? All right, let's get to real reviews, man. TV. Star Trek Discovery, which I have not started watching yet, has been renewed.
Reviews.
It's been renewed for season 2.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yes.
So what? Come on.
You
told me this earlier, and I'm like, I'm a little.
Okay, what I love. Okay, as Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman point out, there were basically like 3 channels when we were growing up.
Indeed.
Right.
ABC, NBC, and CBS.
I mean, I still remember Fox's first year. Mm-hmm. And they hung all their hopes on Tracy Ullman and Married with Children.
Oh, Married with Children was
that was the thing.
Amazing.
And then within a couple of years you had Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place, The Simpsons, all that sort of thing.
Right.
and Cops.
Cops, that helps.
Yeah, so I mean, I remember when the fourth major network came out, and then of course you had CW and UPN and WB and all those
Right.
came out. But what I love about this day and age is that you have not only AMC and FX and all stuff on higher cable channels, but you've got Hulu and Amazon and everything. Well, now YouTube Red is getting into it. YouTube Red is the subscription service that YouTube does.
Right.
And they're doing a sequel series to The Karate Kid. And the name of the series is Cobra Kai.
Of course it is.
And it is going to have Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka in it.
I hope so. And I hope
No,
it's...
it is. They actually released pictures of
No,
it.
no, I know. I said I hope so. I hope... What I meant was I hope it does well.
Me too. So I'm looking
Or I
forward
kind of don't. I'm indifferent.
I loved Karate Kid.
I did too.
So.
I just feel like it's... I was a little young when all that was happening. And
Yeah,
I was really into video games at that time.
Well, I was 9 when the first one came out, so it was like all. I mean, I still remember having seen it, and then going home and practicing the crane kick against my bed.
Oh, we did it too, but I mean, I was really young though. I was playing a lot of video games. But moving on, movies.
Yeah, you did.
Idris Elba. He's talking about the Dark Tower sequel could still happen. Obviously, I have not, sadly, because of timing over the summer, I did not get to see the Dark Tower. But he says, let me find the quote. I think any TV series that's an offshoot from a film can have more time to explore some themes. I personally prefer to do another Dark Tower film because, again, the idea was that they were going to do a film and then do a TV series after.
Right, and that's still where they're leaning as far as I know.
Right, and he says exploring some more of the Gunslinger as a film. And then he says, I don't know how much about where they are in the TV show, but I think there's definitely talks to try to do another one, meaning the film. So,
right.
I don't know. Did you see it?
I have not, but it did just come out on Blu-ray, so I'm going to be seeing it soon.
Yeah. So we'll report back to you next week because I'm pretty excited about watching that movie.
Cool.
And we'll talk about that. Oh God. Yeah, I didn't know if you want to talk about this, but please talk about this.
Yeah, so it's been confirmed. I mean, we knew for a while
Is he really going to write and direct it?
Creed 2 was going to be coming out, and why am I drawing a blank on the guy who directed the last one? He just did Black Panther.
It's Coogler.
Thank you, Ryan Coogler. He wrote and directed the last one, which is what gave it such a great vibe.
Right.
Because you got to remember, before he did Creed, he did Fruitvale Station, which was based on the true story of the guy who got killed at the train station in San Francisco. But he's, of course, moved on to Black Panther, so now Stallone has come back, and he's going to be writing and directing.
Right.
Not necessarily the worst thing, because, I mean, you got to remember, Stallone won an Oscar for writing the first Rocky movie, which is phenomenal. The first Rocky movie is groundbreaking.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Of course, it was Alan Alvinson that directed it. He didn't direct it, but he did go and he directed the sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
Right.
Sorry, he did Saturday Night Fever, which was the first movie with John Travolta. He did the sequel called Staying Alive.
Oh, okay.
And he wrote that. He also, I believe, he directed Rocky IV and Rocky V. And Rocky Balboa, I think. So, I mean, he's not horrible.
No.
But he's not Ryan Coogler.
No.
Because, and this goes back to the thing, it's like...
Boy, is he not Ryan Coogler.
No, well, but the thing is, regardless of quality, it goes back to that having the voice in the room.
Right.
Ryan Coogler had that voice and viewpoint that there's no way Stallone can hope to write from.
Right. I'm just gonna... I actually didn't see Creed.
It's good.
I haven't watched it yet.
It is good.
I wasn't the biggest Rocky fan, honestly.
No, you don't have to be to like this.
Yeah, and I may go back and watch that film. I would like to see Creed. Obviously, I would like to see it actually before I see Black Panther because I want to get a feel for Coogler's style.
He has a very good style.
And we'll talk about Black Panther here in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
but
the thing that gives me the greatest pause in this is that Stallone has already announced where he wants the story to go. And he wants it to be that...
bless you. Do you need to...
Excuse me. Because you got to remember, in the first Rocky movie was Apollo Creed, played by Carl Weathers. And Michael B. Jordan, yep.
Who's
Who's in Black Panther as well, plays Adonis Creed, his son.
His son, right.
Well, in the sequel, Stallone wants Adonis Creed to fight the son of Ivan Drago.
Oh, that's right. That's why I heard about
because
that. Yeah,
Drago killed
because,
Apollo Creed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which isn't in and of itself a horrible story, especially in this.
It's kind of a loose ties, though. Don't you
It
think?
is, but it's also with the whole Russia's evil thing that's been coming up in the news the last
Right.
couple of years. It kind of makes sense. I gotta go put this over back.
Okay. All right. So I am going.
I want you to read this next article. I mean, not the article. Read the headline.
Well, what? Settlers of Catan. So, okay. So Will went to go blow his nose real quick. So here's the deal. Sony apparently is working on Settlers of Catan. This is new to me. He's going to come back. He's going to say some stuff about it. I'm going to say whatever I want. But here's the deal. There's an adaptation for the big screen, apparently a movie. I don't know if any of you play Settlers of Catan. It's a board game that I personally love. I mean, I've played it enough times with the family and with we have a Catan Junior at home. Honestly, I've played it with my kids. So they're going to turn this into a movie.
Yeah, and one thing, I mean, the thing is, the rights were bought up back in 2015 by somebody else, and Sony's trying to get them from them because they have one of the people behind the Lego Movie on board.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So yeah, so I'm kind of okay with this.
All right. Yeah, I'm down. I'm interested to see how they go. I mean, it's a resource-based game, so I don't know where the story comes from.
I really hope they bring Will Wheaton into the cast somehow.
God, I hope so. All right, so casting news. Doctor Who adds 3 new cast members, and this is the female Doctor Who cast, right?
Right.
And these are her 3 companions, apparently. I don't know any of these names, but I guess it's Bradley Walsh, Mandip Gill, and Tosin Cole will star next to Jodie Whittaker in the 11th season.
It's probably Mandeep.
Mandeep. There's a picture of them. They look. One looks old, 2 look young. I mean, I don't know any of them. Cole has a brief appearance as an X-wing pilot in the Force. Oh, he does. He's in the Force Awakens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember him?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway,
cool.
While it's unclear who the official companion for the series is, it says there's some speculation, obviously, but let's not get too far into that. But what it comes down to, it's kind of exciting. She's gonna have some people around her, and I think that's awesome.
Awesome,
as most doctors do. Let's get to DCEU news. We're in now Universal Usual territory, my friend. What do we got?
You put all the Justice League stuff.
I know I put in all of this, but I mean, you've
heard. Oh well, evidently we have the premiere date.
We have the just. Trying to throw it out there. Justice League, the premiere date has been revealed. It is going to be, which is crazy to me. The premiere is going to be on November 13th. And that's 4 days before the movie opens in theaters on Friday the 17th of November.
Okay, when we're saying premiere date, it's not the premiere to the... This is the Hollywood premiere.
The red carpet premiere.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right, Too Little, the board game is really fun. Hopefully the movie is also fun.
Yeah, premieres usually within a week or two, and so it's just they haven't announced it till now. So
just a few days before.
Yeah.
And apparently the runtime is going to be shorter than any of the other DC EU movies to date.
Yeah, well, BVS was a little bloated.
Bloated.
So I think this is fine.
What is the runtime? By comparison, I was trying to find the runtime.
I'm guessing it's probably
121.
I was going to...
Nope, too late. Just over 2 hours.
My guess was actually going to be 128, but...
Well, you would have blew it. 121.
F you.
Man of Steel was 143. Dawn of Justice was 153. Suicide Squad was 123. And Wonder Woman was 141.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of time. Justice League 2 script is already being worked on as well.
I should hope so.
And makes sense. And Wonder Woman and Justice League, apparently there's going to be some double features, which I think is pretty damn cool, dude. In some theaters.
Yeah, well, they're starting to do... I mean, this is...
I like that they do this.
Yeah, I like that when the last Harry Potter movie came out, they did a marathon of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Force Awakens came out, there were some theaters, not ours, who did a full marathon of all those.
It looks like it's going to be through Regal Cinemas. And it's going to start November 16th at 3 p.m., hours before Justice League is going to debut, and the double feature is going to be 4 hours and 22 minutes. Wonder Woman clocking in at 2 hours and 21 minutes. And then, it's going to be 2 hours after that.
Right.
Boom. So there we go. That's cool, dude. Aquaman news. Aquaman has news.
Awesome.
I'm excited about it. They're wrapped with filming.
Good.
And Aquaman is going to be, according to Momoa, is going to be an origin story and a big adventure story.
Cool.
Man of on point words. But I just think, honestly, I'm more excited about the Aquaman movie than I am Justice League. Is that weird?
No, because just as you're going to get with any, as we've seen with the Marvel, you don't get into story with the team up movies, right? You get the spectacle of conflict, which is what we're going to get in Justice League.
Right.
You don't delve into the story of any one particular character, and that's what I like about the standalones.
Well, and I think it's time to redeem old Aquaman. I think it's time to get him out of his hole, man. You know?
I'm sorry. It keeps reminding me of a cutscene that Family Guy did. I want to say like 10 years ago, and it shows Aquaman in his in the green and orange, and he's laying on a couch underwater, and a fish brings him a scotch, and he's like, "Go give me another one, and try not to get water in it this time."
Dude, I love that scene, and I also just love Smodcast back in the day. Scott Mosier and Kevin Smith did some really, really, really funny Aquaman bits, and I'll send you the one I'm thinking of just because it's brilliant.
Well, it's like it's hilarious because kind of like the image that I could totally figure is like, and it totally blows. Pardon the pun.
Right.
It totally blows it out of the water. This misconception, but I just imagine like back in the day with the old Aquaman, like you see villains running up and down the beach saying, "You can't get us, you can't get us."
You're in the sea, man. Stay in the sea. The chat room's having a good time with this too. I actually think I'm with Skeen. I think Aquaman is one of the more exciting JL characters. I'm not sure what Too Little's talking about, but Momoa I think is legit, dude.
I like Momoa as well. I'm not a huge Bruce Willis fan, but there was a movie that came out this year called Once Upon a Time in Venice. And Momoa plays a Mexican drug lord.
Oh, really?
And he is funny as all get out. He is really funny in it.
That's great. All right, man. So let's jump over to Deathstroke news.
Yeah, lots of Deathstroke news dropped today.
Which is weird. Not weird, but like it jumped
just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But they're in early discussions to actually do a Deathstroke film,
which is cool,
right? Because basically we'd only been getting word that he was possibly in Justice League, definitely in the Batman, which is now falling apart. But they're in early talks to do a Deathstroke film, and Joe Manganiello is still supposedly going to be playing
that's awesome.
Deathstroke.
And his Deathstroke from Arrow was sick.
No, different.
Not that guy.
No, different guy.
Wait, which guy are we talking about?
This guy was in Magic Mike. He played...
No, but who was the guy in Arrow?
I can't remember.
I'm thinking of a different... Okay, so that's not the Deathstroke I was thinking
No,
of.
different.
Okay, sorry.
That was actually the big thing is why weren't they casting him, but they haven't been casting out of...
No, they never have,
the Arrowverse.
obviously.
Exactly.
Thank Greg Gustin. Moving on.
Right, exactly. But I'm on board. I think... because I think Deathstroke has a really cool backstory.
Yeah. I like that character a lot. And actually, I think Deathstroke was one of the reasons I stayed with Arrow later in that first season, too, because that character was just so menacing. It was just so captivating, especially when he was on the island. It's like once they got to those scenes, it was phenomenal.
Well, he's the origin from Marvel's Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, man. So let's really jump to something different. We're in Netflix land now.
Yes, we are.
And we are going to watch a trailer from Stranger Things Season 2.
Which I believe comes out tomorrow, officially.
Wait, I thought the dog... Hold on a second. I thought my wife got... No, it comes out Friday.
Is it Friday?
Yeah.
So the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, it comes out Friday. I thought you got the dog already. Almost done-ish.
Good. Dag's in the house.
He is? So what's she talking about? I see what she's saying. She's trying to get she wants the dog to be in here, which is
I gotcha.
Should be entertaining. Okay, so sorry, chat room. This is real life. Real life.
Yeah, talk about real life. The Dodgers are losing 7-5 in the bottom of the 11th.
They're losing?
Well, they were losing 5-3, and then they tied it in the 9th, and now they're losing 7-5 in the bottom of the 11th. 1 out.
Okay, so World Series, dog, here we are. Too little, can't type. I don't know what's going on here, but the whole thing's going to poop, guys.
Talk about Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, we're going to watch a trailer, and it's going to be amazing. There may be a dog in here in a minute, which will be great because he sucks. Because he likes to scratch at himself, which is great. Yep, there he is. That's him right there. All right. He's freaking serious right now. I can't even tell you. Yeah, well, we're almost done. All right, let's get... Really? That's not... Oh, there we go. All right, now we're talking. All right, team. Let's watch this trailer. This is Stranger Things 2, final trailer. Boom. Let's do it.
On Halloween night, Will saw a sort of shadow. Maybe all of this is happening for a reason.
These are not nightmares. It's happening. And it all leads back to here.
This thing. You said it was all in his head. And what have you done? Nothing. What is wrong with my boy?
I don't understand. 11 what? She always did. It's like it's reaching into Hawkins. If anyone knows how to destroy this thing, it's Will.
Oh my God.
Don't you think it's weird how we only seem to hang out when the world's about to end?
It's not like it was before. It's grown.
It's Judgment Day. Which is why we need as much help as we can get.
Is anyone there? Anyone!
You should go now. It's almost here.
You still have that bat?
Bat? What bat?
One with the nails.
Right? I think it looks kind of legit.
Yeah, it looks good.
You seem a little nonplussed. Or were you just talking about the game?
Well, the Dodgers did just hit a homer, but still 7-6. All right, so what's the next thing we're watching?
No, here's the thing. No. Now is our time to talk about the trailer we just watched. What do you think?
Okay, well, I'm first of all just going to say I wasn't as a huge fan of the original series as you were. I thought it was good. It wasn't like blow you out of the water good for me. I liked it. I thought Winona Ryder was undervalued in it. I thought she was really good. I wish that they would follow up with Barb a little bit more.
She's dead.
I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
I'm just messing with you. No, I'm very curious to see where they go with the second season.
Yes.
And it actually looks very, very exciting.
I am interested to see the whole thing with Will getting the powers now.
Yeah.
Because he can pretty much do what 11 was doing. So.
But then you saw 11 kind of show up, and I thought that was kind of cool, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So moving on. One more trailer we're gonna watch is Bright.
I'm really looking forward to this.
And now this is
the first Will Smith thing I've really wanted to see in a while.
Yeah. One sec. Nope. What I like about this is the fantasy aspect.
Yes.
And you had us watch this a couple months ago.
3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah, at least. And you know, that was kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm more excited about this. It's another Netflix show, which is why we're talking about it now. And this is called Bright. Will Smith. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Windows up. Drive it like you stole it.
Put on the gas, hit the motor.
Officer Ward, what happened?
I got a dude in my car, and the whole world is watching.
Our nation's first Orcish police officer.
I can't fuck up my pension.
Hey, don't get me stabbed.
Wyvorks always gotta be the bad guys.
Danger, danger. I don't fit in, I'm a stranger.
So that night, we responded to a 415 disturbance call. Immediately took fire.
You alright? No holes? Only the ones I was born with. Oh, your holes. The fuck can you make a shootout awkward?
Believe me, I can take out all the evil.
It's a magic wand. This is like a nuclear weapon that grants wishes.
And it just went really sideways from that point.
If only some magic strong and kill.
Look, I didn't run through the struggle just to let a little trouble knock me out of my position.
Is that Margot Robbie?
We have to protect the wand.
So I need to know that you got my back.
You a cop first or an orc first?
It's time to end this.
Fuck it. I want to die.
Let's do it.
We're gonna titty bar gunfight die.
Titty bar gunfight.
Butterfingers. We were doing so good.
Someone take me.
Are we friends?
I think we should spend our time just trying to survive this shit.
If we do this, we'll be heroes forever.
Lucy Fry.
Okay, I have a comment.
I need you to take your fat, Shrek-looking ass back the fuck home to Fiona. All right?
I feel like Will Smith is playing his Men in Black role.
Yes.
But serious.
Yeah, with the language of Bad Boys.
Yeah, Bad Boys. It's like a mix of Bad Boys and Men in Black with like a fantasy. It's okay if they lose, bro.
They did lose.
Okay, so they lost. So are we letting it go? We're almost done. How you doing, buddy? Let's talk about orcs. Tell me what you think about orcs. So I've lost Will. Yeah, that's what happens when we record on, apparently, World Series night. Yes, Skeen,
No,
it does look really good. I'm excited about this show.
It does look really good.
Movie.
It's also
Is
got
it a movie?
It's a TV series.
TV series, yeah.
It's also got Numi Rapasi in it, and she's really good.
Indeed. All right, we're almost done. We got a couple of Logan things. There's a spin-off movie for Logan being scripted about X-23.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool. Hugh Jackman, in light of this, has said he's obviously not coming back, but he hopes that they'll recast Wolverine, which they're going to have to, right?
Right.
I mean, it just makes sense. And this I thought was interesting. I don't know if this is even a possibility, but Logan could earn Patrick Stewart his first Oscar nomination.
Yeah, there's a couple things I think have going for it.
Okay.
One is the expansion of the best picture category.
Yeah, is 2 my love of Patrick Stewart? Is that a thing?
What?
Is 2 my love of Patrick Stewart? 'Cause I love him.
You're weird.
I love Patrick Stewart.
I know you do.
He's like my favorite person.
I know.
Okay, continue.
And we saw that with the inclusion of movies like District 9 and Up and stuff like that getting included in Best Picture categories. But it also has going for it is the way that a noirish type film like Fury Road was able to come in a couple of years ago and get a nomination for Charlize Theron. So I honestly think it could, and it's a lot easier for it to get nominated in a supporting actor category. And so, plus just the cachet that Patrick Stewart has, I honestly can see it happening.
Yeah. I would love to see him nominated, at least nominated.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Not only with that, but he's a fantastic person and human and actor.
Yeah, and it's not unheard of for the Academy to honor somebody late in life. For example, John Wayne got his Oscar for doing True Grit, which was far from his best movie.
Sure.
But it was late in his career. So it was the way they could honor him.
And I feel like Patrick Stewart, I mean, if you look at his body of work, oh my God. He is by far my favorite Starfleet captain. But just one of my favorite actors. He's just really good. And he's just a cool person. Anyway, really? We have a release date for reals this time?
Yeah, and this is what's awesome. We've been getting a lot of, after like months and months and months of postponement and stuff, we talked about the last few episodes that Gambit's been getting much more momentum behind it. And they've actually released a release date, and it looks like it's going to be February 14th. It's going to be that perfect Valentine's Day movie for 2019.
Cool.
I'm okay with it.
That's great.
I mean,
I'm happy it's happening. I love Gambit.
Yeah,
love
honestly, I think it's actually a good choice for release week because if anybody, you're going to be able to get girlfriends out to go see Channing Tatum.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, put Homeboy in a movie, people are going to go see it.
Exactly.
So, Avengers news. We're in Marvel now. Kevin Feige confirms that Captain Marvel will appear in Avengers 4, which makes sense.
Yes.
Because of the things. But the other story I liked on this, and I have a link in the show notes, is that Captain Marvel will play a big role in MCU's Phase 3 finale. So, basically
Which
ending...
is Avengers 4.
Well, no, but is it the same story? It's not the same story. Right? Is it kind of the same story?
Well,
no.
She's going to be in Avengers 4.
Oh, I didn't think
and
the
that's
timing.
the last movie of
Okay.
Phase 3.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's the first movie of Phase 4.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was thinking about that differently. But long and the short of it is Captain Marvel is going to play a role at the end of this, which I think is important because they're a little behind the 8 ball here.
Yes.
As far as female-driven
Exactly.
superhero
But one
movies.
big thing that we got this week was that Ben Mendelsohn of Oren Krennic is in talks to play the villain in Captain Marvel.
God, I hope that happens. I love that guy. He did a good job with Krennic, I think.
Yes.
Really good job. Daredevil.
Yeah, so Daredevil 3 is starting to get some news because they're starting to get ramped up into pre-production and all that stuff. And it's confirmed that Kingpin is going to be making a return.
Yeah, I saw this, man, and he's my favorite. Oh, my God.
D'Onofrio's fantastic. as
D'Onofrio, as soon as he decapitated Homeboy with the car door,
Yes.
it doesn't matter what he did after that.
No.
And then you see him bench pressing like 800 pounds at some point. It's so good. Inhumans, sadly, there's a series low in ratings for the latest one, I think. And this, I think, is kind of what we've been talking about since San Diego, right?
Yeah, it's just, when it came out, the first couple episodes that were in IMAX, it was getting some good buzz. But I think it's just been a big off-the-mark sort of thing. I haven't had a chance to watch any of it yet. I'm hoping to do it over Thanksgiving break, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. And honestly, I haven't, I'm not breaking my neck to watch it because of, coming off of San Diego and everything else that we've been talking about.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't help that ABC has banished it to Fridays.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Fridays is, that's the death zone. Death zone? Whatever. But upside, we finally have a firm date for Punisher.
Finally.
Isn't this exciting? Just a few weeks from now. Actually,
Yes.
November 17th is Punisher. So I cannot wait. I will be binging that.
It's Marvel trying to steal dollars away from DC.
And they will do it, honestly. I think Punisher, if you watch Daredevil Season 2 and you saw that Punisher,
John Barenthal's fantastic.
Yeah, you've been chomping at the bit for this Punisher. So, anyway, here we are. All right, man. So we have one more little surprise thing here. And actually, should we do the what you call it and then end it with the trailer? Okay. So we have some convention news, and I'm only bringing this up because there's a lot of our base that is interested in San Diego Comic-Con, which is why we talk about it too, because we go. But returning registration is, so if you went last year, returning registration is going to be Saturday the 28th, which is this Saturday. By the time you hear this, that'll be passed. But the bottom line is, even if you were eligible for returning reg and for some reason missed the memo, which you wouldn't have because you would have got an email, it's not too late. Sign up for a member ID. Open registration is going to happen before the end of this year. I saw a post about that today.
Cool.
So make sure that you get your member ID in if you're even halfway interested in coming to Puck 3 or checking out San Diego Comic-Con. Definitely get in on the ground floor right now and get your member ID in and throw your poop in the lottery.
Awesome. And also, I would like to say we just got a little bump in our viewership right now. So
we did.
For those of you who are watching Bad Feeling or Sakari, we welcome you.
Oh, thanks for joining us. Since we're second on the priority list, or third or fourth. I'm just kidding. Sakari and Bad Feeling, they're better men than we are.
They are. Better beards.
Tell me about it.
But you're
Sakari's not bearded, but he's lusciously locked.
Yes. But you're just in time.
Yeah. We're going to watch one more trailer. And we normally do this at the beginning of the show, but we've been kind of sprinkling them throughout the last couple weeks because we haven't had as many. And the ones we've had are really epic, and it's nice to have the people in the chat room watching with us. So we're going to watch the latest Black Panther trailer right now.
Let's watch it.
We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to get the F out. Here we go. Just kidding. 1 second. Hold, please. There it is. Here we go.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go.
We are home.
My son, it is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
The revolution will not be televised. Show me my respect and bow down.
We own ya. We own ya. We only getting started now. Cause we own ya. Everybody think they know me now. Cause we own ya. You and I'm my homie. Cause we own ya.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. Wakanda forever! The revolution will not be televised.
Let's have some fun.
Right?
constantly surprising me and blowing me away.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like it makes me happy. All right, thoughts, my friend.
I'm so on board.
Yeah, no, I'm in like Flynn in a bin. I love. First of all, I loved that character in Avengers.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
Civil
not
War.
Avengers.
Civil War.
Civil War. And not only that, like just seeing him in his element, seeing Wakanda, seeing there's a history there. There's all of this. There's so much that mirrors, obviously, what was going on at the times when that character was created.
Yes.
That's relevant now. That makes me so happy that it's happening.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Very much how we were talking about Luke Cage last year.
Exactly.
I'm really excited they're involving Martin Freeman more.
Yeah,
because I
indeed.
love him,
He's
and
awesome.
I love how it looks like Michael B. Jordan might be on different sides.
Yeah, no, I like that there's going to be two suits. I like there's going to be, I don't know, dude. I don't know what I want to say about it. It does, and you're right. It does look like a techno utopia. I like there's things hidden there, and I like that there's this history we're going to find out, and I hope there's more, at least going to be 2 Black Panther movies, because there's going to be the one you're going to have, obviously he's going to show up in Infinity War, I'm sure.
Right.
And then I hope we have another one post that, and
Right.
that's going to be cool.
I would like to steal something from Robin Thede, who just started her show The Rundown on BET this week, and
Okay.
she talked about Michael B. Jordan.
All right.
And she goes, "Homeboy can make swoop bangs look good."
And on that note, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. The one thing I don't like,
So I think the music's
I
phenomenal.
don't know. The music, I think,
The music fits.
I think the way they cut the trailers, it fits, and I think we'll see how it plays out in the soundtrack in the film.
Right.
I don't know, but I think for the trailers it fits because with trailers, you don't know when things are happening anyway. So
Exactly.
it is what it is. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in to The Usual Podcast. If you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on the social medias at Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Find us on Twitter at Darth Pops and I am Will Griggs. We're on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play, and your favorite podcatchers. Give us 5 stars, like us, share us, and all that. If you want to support the show, find us at patreon.com/usualpodcast. Give us $1 or $2 an episode, and you will get exclusive stuff like trailer time, which we do sometimes before some of our shows. But also we have blooper reels and stuff that I cut out of the show that I will add to our Patreon Dropbox feed. We also have audibletrial.com/usualpodcast, which is a way to support the show as well if you don't already have a Amazon account, which most people do. But if you don't, you can support the show that way and get an audiobook on us, which is great.
Free audiobook, and we get 15 bones.
Yeah. The stipulation is they can't have an Audible account already. An
Right.
audio.
You can have an Amazon account, but you can't have an Audible account.
It's different now.
Really?
I've been talking to him.
That's weird.
It's kind of lame. But that's a side note and not part of the show that you're going to hear.
Nope.
if you're not tuning in live, but that's not the point. Thank you, chat room. We appreciate everybody who is here. And until next week, my friend.
Yeah, make sure you have fun.
Have fun. We'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Usually you wait till I say that.
Well, you sound like you were done. Would
I
you like to do
wasn't.
it again?
No.
All right, everybody, make sure you have a fun.
No, I'm not doing it again. I'm going to keep all of that and I'll put it in the end. Anyway, thanks, chat room. You guys are awesome. Okay. See, now it's just getting weird. Hold on. We get bones. Yeah, bones or clams or whatever you call
Marshall
them.
buries him in a hole in the backyard.
Well, look, did you get the Big Lebowski? If you don't, Big Lebowski, bones or clams or whatever you call them. Watch the Big Lebowski.
I've seen it twice.
Julianne Moore, she has a moment where she talks about money, and she's like, oh, bones or clams or whatever you call them. Now we're just making it weird for everybody who's still there.
So weird.
Thank you, everybody in the chat room. Thanks for putting up with our weirdness. We are going to take off.
Late.
You guys are awesome. And Too Little and Skeen, for those of you that stayed with us the whole time, Shaggy's, thanks for jumping in. We appreciate you guys. And we'll see you all on the flip side. Peace out.